Tanker off the coast of Venezuela that marks a major escalation in the crackdown against narco-terrorism. So we're watching this today. We're doing fine. Had a good night last night and a great day this morning. In New York, I'm Bill Hammer, and you.
My tip to everybody is this. If you go out on a weeknight and you have a great time, the next morning if someone says, how are you doing? You have to say,
great.
Better say great. Great, I'm great. So I'm Dana Perino, and this is America's Newsroom, and truly, Fox News threw a wonderful holiday party. It was the best part. I had a great time. Cool. But we also have news. So Attorney General Pam Bondi releasing dramatic video of the daring operation, and it shows U.S. forces swooping in from a helicopter above the vessel and then landing on the deck of the ship with their weapons drawn. At the White House, President Trump called the seizure more than justified.
From the standpoint of news, as you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large. Largest one ever seized, actually.
Okay.
And, other things are happening, so you'll be seeing that later. It was seized for a very good reason.
So now,
tell me the reason.
It's expected to be a major point of discussion. House hearing gets underway a little bit later this hour on the worldwide threats to the U.S. homeland. Let's get right to it. Bill Maloogian reports from the Hill. Jillian Turner reports from the State Department. Let's start there with you, Jillian, on what's happening with regard to Venezuela. Good morning.
So, good morning to you, Bill and Dana. Overnight, Venezuela's leaders reacting to that seizure of the crude oil tanker. They are accusing the U.S. of theft and President Trump of blatantly trying to take control of the country's entire oil resources. Here's the Interior Minister. Listen.
Is that ship the entire oil resources? It's not. I definitely would like to know why this happened.
Venezuela denounces and repudiates energetically what constitutes a blatant theft and an act of international piracy, announced publicly by the President of the United States, who confesses the assault of an oil ship in the Caribbean.
Reporters asked President Trump yesterday what now happens to all of the oil aboard that ship. Here's what he said.
Let's hear it.
We're interested in the seizure of this tanker. What happens to the oil on this ship?
Well, we keep it, I guess.
Where does it go? What port does it go to?
Well, you have to follow the tanker. You know, you're a good newsman. Just follow the tanker. I assume we're going to keep the oil.
The Attorney General posting that footage of the seizure on social says the FBI, Homeland Security, and U.S. Coast Guard executed this operation with some support from the War Department. The U.S., it turns out, we are learning, had issued a warrant for this oil tanker, alleging it was used to transport illegal oil from Venezuela and Iran in support of foreign terrorist groups. Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro, meanwhile, has been rallying his supporters in Caracas.
No more Vietnam, no more Somalia, no more Iraq, no more Afghanistan, no more Libya, no blood for oil.
Okay. Hold on. So we took it basically. This is kind of what I'm getting. I want to kind of get myself up to speed here. So we took a different sovereign nation's, let's say, oil tanker with oil on it, because we perceive it to be being used to fund other like organizations that are absolutely against us. That's kind of what I'm getting from this here. If that is like 100% true and not just overall theory, then okay. If there is like something to be pushed back against, let's say, then that may be a different scenario here, guys. That may sound, it sounds like strong arm, robbery. But let's see where this goes.
So we learned from the president himself yesterday he has not spoken with Maduro since their shock phone call last week. In a sense, it's not surprising, though, because the president since then has continued to push for his ouster and still does not recognize Maduro as the legitimate leader of Venezuela.
He's not the legitimate leader.
Speech, quite the soundbite there, Jillian. Thank you. We're watching all of it. Thanks, Department of State. Back now to our top story. Keep a very close eye on this. Breaking news, the U.S. stepping up its fight against narco-terrorism, seizing a tanker off the coast of Venezuela that was carrying sanctioned Iranian oil. President Trump says the operation was done for a very good reason. Let's get some analysis.
Hold on.
More. Rebecca Heinrichs, national security analyst, Hudson
more
Institute.
insight.
Rebecca, thank you for
coming
back here. We're trying to figure this out. Here's the FBI Director, Kash Patel. The tanker has been used in recent years in an illicit shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. This administration's efforts to crush FTOs and cut off the resources will continue day and night. What is the end?
Okay, then it's fine. Take it.
Game here as you see it, Rebecca?
Well, this is actually a perfect example of Venezuela's connection to these other authoritarian powers, too. Iran. I mean,
all of our
there
adversaries.
is a deal penned between the Iranians and the Venezuelans in 2022 to help one another. And as you said, Bill, so Venezuela wants to evade American sanctions against Iranian oil, for instance. So it has this barter regime, essentially, where it exports heavy crude on these tankers to Iran, and then Iran refines it and can ultimately export it then to China, because China has a high demand for oil, refined oil. So there's this web of authoritarian countries increasingly collaborating to harm the United States. And the Trump administration, I think so rightly, interdicted this tanker that has been sanctioned for several years now.
Would you expect this to happen again, Rebecca?
I do, as long as the Venezuelans are foolish enough to continue to try to get, under our nose, essentially, whenever we have such a heavy naval presence, Coast Guard presence, Navy presence in the region to shut this down. General Kane, of course, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, said over the weekend that we may expect to see more combat, he said, in our own hemisphere as the Trump administration is completely out of patience for this illicit activity right in our backyard.
Is this something that would suggest over the holidays we hear about special forces going in the dark of night? Can you see that happening?
We might hear about that, Bill. And again, I mean, understand you have the narco-terrorism element, and the reason that's so important is because the narco-terrorists work with, hand in glove, the Venezuelan regime, keeps it funded and fueled and collaborating. The Venezuelan regime provides the cover and the help that the narco-terrorists need. So that's the connection we keep hearing from Trump officials, but there's a much larger geopolitical picture here. And so I think we should expect, to the extent the Venezuelans try to get out from under us, you're going to see continued crackdown, just like the tanker that we're seeing here.
Okay, a couple things here. The president said Maduro's days are numbered. We played a soundbite that he delivered yesterday, some of it in Spanish, some of it in English, saying that he was defiant. This is not Iraq. This will not be Afghanistan. Here's the state of play in the region. Our military is substantial. We have 25% of our naval warships right now at sea in the Caribbean. So for you, Rebecca, what is the state of play as you see it?
Let's hear it.
Well, clearly, the Trump administrations understand that Maduro does have to go. Maduro is just a stooge for these other authoritarian powers establishing a foothold in our own hemisphere. And so the Trump administration wants Maduro to exit. He wants the people surrounding Maduro to force him out. And they want a regime that's friendly to the United States to replace him, which is, of course, what the Venezuelan people want. It's how they voted again and again. And so that we're trying, we at the United States is trying to force him out without actually having to do something more extreme, like strikes in Venezuela or some other military option that would be riskier to put Americans at risk. But clearly that is the end state at this point for the Trump administration.
I want to squeeze this in. Soundbite number 3, guys. Go ahead and roll it. The president was then asked about the Colombian president in South America. Watch.
Have you considered talking to the president of Colombia, who you call...
Nah, he's next. He's next.
No, I haven't really thought too much about him. He's been fairly hostile to the United States. And I haven't given him a lot of thought. He's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of cocaine factories that make, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next.
So
Gustavo listen, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he was next. I just want you to know right now, my entire perception, specifically the entirety of the time, was, Colombia's next.
Castro is the leader in Colombia. He called Trump a barbarian because the narco-terrorist hits in the Caribbean. How's that fit in here?
Well, again, it's a network of these communist states that have been terrible for their own countries. Because they've been so terrible for their own countries, that's where we see the migrant flow into the United States. So if you want to get a control of our own borders, stop the migrant flow, you have to have more stability in your own hemisphere. And furthermore, we don't want these countries facilitating flow, obviously, into the United States. So
Obviously.
all of these countries that really have felt like they've had sanctuary, no longer do they have that, and they should be put on notice. If we're going to go after Maduro in Venezuela, of course we're going to go after these other regimes. And last thing I'll just say, you've got the opposition leader that has fled Venezuela, who's pro-democracy, Maria Machado, and so that's another interesting element here, Belle. She is pro the United States, and she's now safe outside Venezuela.
Well, she just got the Nobel Peace Prize, and she showed up in Oslo, Norway earlier today. Rebecca, thanks for coming on. More to come on this for sure. Thank you.
Guys, great story. Great story. Like, so understand this here. Other than the super light research that we did yesterday on stream, trying to see exactly what happened. Like, I generally do not even like touching stories like this until there's much more information that comes out. So I kind of know and hear both sides, I think, for the most part here. But yeah, we didn't even get a chance to kind of hear what exactly is kind of fully happening here. But if all of what was stated here is in fact like the factual statement, I can definitely tell you this right now. Nah, bro, I'm not going to sit here and you're going to tell me that there's illegal oil specifically coming from Iran that was basically being funneled to you. I'm not doing that. Nope. Iran? Are you crazy? Pass. All right. The ones who fund the Houthis who consistently, and I mean consistently, are bombarding us specifically over there near Yemen. Oh no. I'm good, bro. Sorry. Hard pass. Nope. Take that. That's yours now. All right. I can't feel bad. All right. I'm sorry. I can't feel bad for this specific scenario here. Now, listen, guys, I've said for years on YouTube now, I'm not specifically one for the concept of regime change specifically, but when a country basically votes in someone and then the person never actually leaves, maybe we can help there a little bit, potentially, right? So it sounds like that's exactly kind of what we're doing here is we're trying to help, I guess, facilitate that. But I've also said here, I'm also not a super fan of the concept of installing someone just because they're friendly to the United States of America, right? Like we can go back into history and kind of realize that the installed leaders in certain places are not really beneficial to the people kind of in the country that they're lording over or ruling over. Let's just say this here. I do think that if someone is to be installed, America should not be the first thing on the person's mind. It should be probably, I don't know, down the line, let's say, right? But it would be great if they were friendly, sure, right? But the most important thing is making sure the people in that country that has been basically, held hostage by some like dictatorial ruler, right, they're going to be safe and happy and free to the point where they don't want to leave their country and come running to our southern border, basically. Okay. So I think if you're going to install someone that's actually for the people, specifically in that region. That's my opinion on that. Make sure they're taken care of so they don't have to come running to us in 3 years. Right? Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies. And I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry, right? Listen, like and subscribe.